Hello, folks. So we're here for today's report. There was a Venezuelan narcotics dealer thrown over a boat. Many of you saw it today. It actually happened July 17th. The world is fucking insane. The things that we're actually seeing now of how it's just more affirmation. A lot of people didn't realize how insane the world was. I've uh, been aware since I believe it was approximately sometime in September of 2001. That's when I started to have inklings like something ain't right. Something ain't right around here. So, a Venezuelan fugitive drug trafficker known as Taliban was dumped alive in the ocean. His hands were zip tied and an anchor was placed around his waist, and they say it was for revenge of stealing cocaine and cash from the cartel. He was bound and gagged, and there were blood stains seen on the back of his head before his killers struggled to heave him and the anchor over the edge of a boat into the Caribbean Sea near Martinique. Um, yeah, it's really, really crazy. They say that in an elaborate and poorly thought out ruse, did y'all have to say that? I mean, he did end up being found out and dying. In an elaborate and poorly thought out ruse, Fuentes, a middleman for the Venezuela. Wait, what's his whole name? Fuentes, Fuentes. Reynaldo Fuentes, 68. Hmm. Reynaldo probably did some horrible things, but Reynaldo, he was a middleman for the Venezuelan clan del cartel. Earlier, had dumped a shipment of narcotics worth 10 million at sea. He fabricated a fake Coast Guard pursuit to explain not bringing the drugs back to his bosses and kept the cash. That's greedy. 10 million? Apparently, he fled to Dominican Republic. Now, with 10 million, you flee into DR? What I find when I read a lot of these stories, these huge $1 million um, thefts or um, these amounts of money where somebody who's kind of played a smaller role, I don't know what role he was playing, but the fact that he stole $10 million and you fled to DR, my boy, why didn't you go further? And then you had a small ass DR. That's not my boy. It's just a phrase, okay? So, anyways, he went back to the ocean, collected cocaine. Apparently, his henchmen snitched, leading to his watery demise on July 17th, the day he was invited to a cartel meeting. Um, he lived under the name Miguel Fulcar in Dominican Republic, making it impossible for him to be detected by authorities. It's funny how authorities can't find people, but the people who they've wronged in the cartel seem to be able to find them. Sometimes I wonder if the authorities were able to find them and then the authorities told where they could be found, because that shit happens. He was a native of Sucre, Venezuela. Um, hope I'm probably not saying that right. He controlled drug dealing in the Banao neighborhood of Buenos Aires, where he picked up the Taliban nickname due to illicit dealings with Middle Eastern drug traffickers. Mm, mm-mm. Two members of his organization were previously killed in a shootout with the police in Buenos Aires. An investigation led cops to a home where a cache of weapons were recovered from a Banal home. The weapons reportedly belonged to Fuentes. Sources told Tolentino Fuentes entered the country July 14th and was there for 2 days before leaving. Sources told Tolentino, I feel like there should have been a comma before after that Tolentino. Sources told Tolentino that Fuentes was murdered because he had been involved in stealing a multi-million-dollar cocaine shipment destined for Tortola, the largest of the British Virgin Islands. Shouldn't have done it, player. Shouldn't have done it. He was lured to a cartel meeting at an unknown location on July 17th, and that is when he was kidnapped and dumped at sea later that day. They wasted no time disposing of Homeboy. Like, the way the shows will tell you, like, people getting held for ransom, like, they were like, you ain't got the money to give us, or you just about to die for off GP. Like, we don't give a fuck whether you give us the money or not. Your death will do. That's seemingly what happened. Like, they did it on the same day. They didn't even wait for him to get money. They didn't even like call people. There was no proof of life sent for anyone because demands weren't met. Demands weren't even asked for. Damn. So they subsequently They subsequently dumped Fuentes headfirst, an anchor wrapped around his body. Ooh. Mm. It's unclear if authorities have made any arrests in the case, although the Dominican Republic military said that the incident did not take place in its waters. Okay, wait, they did say it happened off the off the coast of Martinique. So yeah, why are they trying to expect the Dominican Republic? Anyways, um, the network started off by smuggling alcohol into the United States during the Prohibition era. Once it came to an end, the organization turned to other illicit activities like gambling, prostitution rings, and smuggling other goods. It wasn't until the 1980s that the Gulf Cartel got itself immersed into the drug trade, tapping into the marijuana and heroin market. Much like the Peaky Blinders. I'm sorry, this is serious. I'm not sorry. That's how my mind works. Its leader, Juan Garcia, eventually entered an agreement with the once powerful Colombian Cali cartel to set up drug trafficking routes to the United States due to its proximity to the border. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm going to start calling them the GCH. No, the GCJ. I had to, the GCJ. I wouldn't be surprised if the GCJ is involved. I've never heard that used, and I want somebody. Don't put it anywhere. Matter of fact, I'm turning comments off for all of this, okay? GCJ, I hope it catches fire, but don't put it in writing anywhere. Don't put it on motherfucking social media. I hope this. We gotta start calling them something else, because calling them out in real, like their name of what they actually are, I wouldn't be surprised if they're involved in the theft, in the coordination, in of talking to him, getting him to steal the money, getting him to steal the drugs. I'm sure the GCH or the GCJ was involved with the coordination. They probably set up the delivery. They probably put the agent on to coordinate the sale. They probably rented him the boat. They probably fucking found his girlfriend in the DR. She's the one who put the people on to where he was, because if it was impossible for authorities, whatevs. Um, I don't even want to name these people's names out loud. You see what it says. He made a deal with some folks in another cartel. God damn, cartel was like Latin America. I'm scared. Homie got jumped off the boat, dumped off the boat, and it was really crazy to watch. The world is crazy, y'all. That's all I got for you.